Hello students, in today's lesson we are going to discuss poem number 3, A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. This poem is in the syllabus of class 10 from the First Flight book. So, this poem, it contrasts a tiger when it is in its natural habitat, that is forest, and when it is imprisoned in a zoo. So, now let us begin with the reading of stanza 1. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. Now he here refers to the tiger. How we come to know that he is a tiger? Because in his vivid means bright or clear or distinct stripes, black stripes on the body of the tiger. So the tiger, he stalks word means follows or walks. So the tiger who is in his vivid or the clear or the bright stripes walks or follows. What he follows? The few steps of his cage. The few steps, this phrase shows the small size or the small length of the cage. On pads of velvet quiet. Pads here means the paws of the tiger. Velvet. Now what is velvet? Velvet is a fabric and this is known for its softness. So here velvet is used an adjective to show the softness of the paws of the tiger. The tiger's paws, they are as soft as velvet. Quiet. Now word quiet here. Quiet means silent. Means the tiger paws, they are so soft. That's why when he moves, even when he walks, even then there is hardly any noise made. In his quiet rage, and when he is moving in his quiet. Quiet means absolute silence and rage means extreme anger. Now, and when he is moving, now this phrase quiet rage shows that a tiger, he is unhappy, he is frustrated living over there, because tiger naturally it is a ferocious animal. It is known for its anger, for its rage and for its bravery. But when he is locked in the cage, so he has quietened, he has made his anger silent, and this shows that he is living there helplessly and uncomfortably. So the poem, it started with the tiger who is in zoo. Now the next two stanzas will take us to the natural habitat of the tiger. How the tiger, it naturally lives when he is in the forest. He should be lurking in shadow. He, again the tiger, lurking means remaining hidden in shadow. Shadow means shade. Sliding through long grass. Sliding means moving quietly through long grass. Near the water hole. Water hole stands for any water source that is there in the forest. It can be a river, it can be a water stream, it can be a waterfall or a pond. So near the water hole, where plump means fat. Deer is one of the most favorite prey of the tiger. So where plump means fat, deer pass means where fat deer come. So let us join together the words now, the meanings together. So the tiger, he should, instead of staying confined in the cage of the zoo, he should be lurking, means he should remain hidden in the shadow and should move through the long grass which is near the water source where fat deer they come. And why he would hide himself there, why the tiger would hide himself there in the long grass? So that he stays there and he waits for his prey to come, and the moment those deer, they come there to drink water, he will attack on them and hunt his prey. So this is the natural lifestyle, the natural personality of a tiger. So he is compelled to live in the cage, but rather he should live naturally like this, as mentioned in stanza 2, and hunting his prey on its own. Now, stanza 3, he should be snarling around houses. This again, this shows the poet explains how the tiger, he lives in its natural habitat in the forest. He should be, and instead of staying confined in the cage, he should be snarling. Snarling means roaring. He should be roaring around the houses. Which houses? The houses which are situated on the jungle's edge. Jungle's edge means the boundary or the outskirts of the forest. So the tigers, they are known for their bravery, their fearlessness. So a tiger cannot be confined when he is in its natural habitat. He cannot only confined in the forest, rather he would be even going to the nearby areas, nearby villages. What does he do there? Baring his white fang. Baring means exposing or showing or uncovering his white fangs. White fang means his white sharp teeth, which help him to tear the flesh. His claws. Now, the fangs and the claws of the tiger, they are the symbol of his bravery. They are the symbol of his power. So, when he moves on the outskirts of the jungle around the houses that are located there, he shows his white teeth, he roars there, and he shows his claws as well. And what does he do? Terrorizing the village. Terrorizing means frightening, and he frightens the villager by showing his sharp canine tooth and the claws. Now, stanza 4. But he is locked in a concrete cell. So the tiger, it should naturally be living the way it is explained in stanza 2 and 3. But now the fourth stanza, it starts with the word but. But why? Because this shows the helplessness. The tiger is not living his natural life in the forest. Rather, he is compelled by the humans to live in a concrete cell. Now let's read stanza 4. But he is locked. He, again the tiger, locked in a concrete cell. Now, concrete word. Concrete is a building material. It's a mixture of gravel, sand, cement and water, which is used for making bridges and buildings. And when it dries up, it becomes very hard like a rock. So here a concrete word shows very sturdy, very strong or very solid. So the tiger, he is locked in a very sturdy cell, means cage. And when he is physically locked there, obviously his power is also locked behind the bars. Stalking the length of his cage. Stalking, again the same word. Stalking means following or walking the length of his cage. So how he spends his days there in the cage? He just walks the little length of the cage, ignoring the visitors. And when he ignores, he's ignoring the visitors. He's not exposing his power or his bravery or his roaring there, because he knows he cannot show. He is helpless. He is behind the bar. So to show his frustration, he just simply ignores the visitors who come to the zoo. So this is how in stanza 4 it is shown. This is how he spends his days in the zoo. Now let us talk about how he spends his nights there. Is he comfortable during the nights? No. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling car. He hears. So this first line shows that even till late at night he is not able to sleep. So this again shows his restlessness there in the zoo. And what does he do? He hears the voice of last patrolling cars. Now what is patrolling? Patrolling means keeping a watch over an area by walking or traveling around it. And patrolling cars are usually the police cars who who pay rounds to take care or to keep a watch over an area. So These police cars, they come for patrolling in the area, and the tiger is not able to sleep even till late at night, since even till when the last patrolling car it comes for its round. So he is still awake, and what does he do? He stares. Stares means looks intently or looks continuously. With his brilliant eyes, with his sparkling eyes, he would continuously look at the brilliant stars. Brilliant stars means at the sparkling or the shining stars he would look at. So this stanza again shows that he spends not only restless days but even sleepless nights at the zoo. So the poet, he has very beautifully explained how a tiger behaves naturally in its natural habitat, and how he behaves and spends time when he is compelled to stay in a cage. So stanza 1, 4 and 5, they told us about the tiger in the zoo, and stanza 2 and 3, they told us how a tiger behaves when he is in forest. So now let us talk about the poetic devices used in the poem. First of all, we will talk about the rhyming scheme. Rhyming scheme. The prominent rhyming scheme in the poem is A B C B. A B C B. Let's check. Stripes, cage, quiet, rage. Stripes A sound, cage B sound, quiet C sound, rage and cage they rhyme, that's why B sound. A B C B. Similar here in stanza 1, 2, 3 and 5, the rhyming scheme is same. Therefore we can call it the prominent rhyming scheme. But in stanza 4, the rhyming scheme is different. Cell, bar, cage, visitors. Cell A sound, bars B sound, cage C, and visitors, it doesn't rhyme with the word bars. Therefore this is D sound. So rhyming scheme for stanza 4 is A B C D. Now poetic device. Next poetic device. So firstly we are going to talk about the prominent poetic devices that are used in this poem. The first one is personification. Personification is a poetic device which is considered when an animal or an inanimated object is assumed to behave like a human being, or adopting some behavior of humans. So there it is called personification. We have examples, more than several examples of personification here in this poem. Firstly is he. Everywhere in the poetry we can see he stalks, he is lurking, he should be there, he is locked, he hears. So everywhere the tiger is referred as he, and different verbs are shown that show him similar to the human being. So that's why this first prominent poetic device is personification. Next prominent device is imagery. Now imagery means that helps the reader to imagine the scene. When a poet uses many action verbs, and those words, they create an image in front of the author's eyes, or in his the reader's eyes, or in his imagination. So there the poetic device used is imagery. Let's see the example. Like in all the stanzas 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever the poet has explained, a scene can easily be like coming in our imagination. So all these there are examples of imagery. Next is alliteration. The example of alliteration in the poem: plump, pass. So this is an example of alliteration. Alliteration means when consonant sounds, they are repeated in the same line. So there are other examples of alliteration also. Now next one is oxymoron. Oxymoron. Now, what is oxymoron? Oxymoron is when two contrasting means totally opposite words are used together. How? Let us see this example. Quiet rage. We have talked about it. Quiet means totally silent. Rage means extreme anger. When somebody is angry, he or she cannot be imagined to be quiet. But here, the tiger, though he is very angry, but he is quiet. So this is an example of oxymoron. Next one more we are going to do is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Now, what is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is a poetic device when the poet uses some sound words. Now, which sound word is there? The word snarling. He should be snarling. So, when any sound word is used, so there we call the poetic device used is onomatopoeia. And last one, the one more prominent poetic device used in this poem is enjambment. Enjambment. Now, what is enjambment? Enjambment is a poetic device. It is considered when one sentence runs through a two or more line without having a punctuation mark at the end. Let us see at the examples from the poem. First line, he stalks in his vivid stripes. There is no punctuation mark after first line, and the same sentence is continuing in the second line as well. So this is first example of enjambment. Similarly, in stanza through first two lines, because first sentence in this line is having no punctuation mark at the end, and the same sentence is continuing in the next line as well. So these are two examples of enjambment. So hope you would have understood the poem and you would have liked it. Thank you so much for